Alright, how's everyone doing? If you don't know, I am Waifu Belector, the only fair human on Earth, back again in the fresh new year. And after we opened with talking about Nintendo and what we could get from them this year, I now want to transition into talking about one of the other big console companies, Microsoft and Xbox. However, I'm not gonna talk about what we might see from them this year, because there were actually some rumors about what might be coming even beyond 2025. So let's dig into the rumors, dig into the speculation, and just go over the possibilities. Of course, please remember to like the video if you end up enjoying and consider subscribing. Thanks in advance. Now, to get right into these rumors, what we're hearing are alleged leaks about the future of Xbox, specifically its next console and what it could be planning with hardware going forward. So our primary thing to know here is that allegedly the new upcoming Xbox console is called Xbox Prime, and it's being released next year in 2026. Now again, this is all alleged. It comes from a Call of Duty leaker who really has nothing to back up these claims, but let's entertain the possibility for the sake of this video. So first off, do I find this believable? Well, yeah. Not so believable that I'd bet the farm on it right now, but it seems true enough that, as I said, I'd entertain the possibility. And I find it believable for reasons I'm about to get into in a second, but on a personal note, I do like the name Xbox Prime. I think that sounds cool, much better than Series X and Series S, if you ask me. We are told, however, that our leaker here is unsure if Xbox Prime is the official name of the console or a code name. Regardless, it is just a single name, so I wonder if the people at Xbox would be abandoning the X and S approach of a cheaper, less powerful version accompanying the main console. I'm not too sure about that, but it could be. Because on one hand, the X and S approach definitely drove up sales of the Xbox Series machines, because people who even just maybe sort of wanted an Xbox would at least buy the $300 Series S. However, at the same time, every game that wants to ship on the Series X also has to ship on the Series S, which just does not have the same capabilities. And that headache has led some developers to skip making an Xbox version entirely, sometimes in the case of big games like Black Myth Wukong. So I'm not sure if there'd be an Xbox Prime and a Beta Prime or whatever, but it's something to ponder. But anyway, let me actually get into what makes this little rumor pretty believable. And it's pretty simple. It's believable simply because of the circumstances Xbox finds itself in. And those circumstances are in a losing battle. In the home console competition, they are losing, plain and simple. As I said in my previous video, Nintendo is running their own race. Their consoles are seen as complementary to other machines, and so their sales are not directly affected typically by what the other big home consoles do. So who Xbox is really fighting with is obviously PlayStation, and they're kind of getting stomped. The PS5, with about 67 million units sold, has more than doubled the series console's 31 million. And both consoles launched the same year, the same month, which I'm willing to bet the folks at Xbox currently don't think would be a good idea to do again. And a typical console lifecycle is around 7 years. So that would be 2027, which could explain why Xbox wants to launch in 2026 to get away from PlayStation, which in my opinion is smart and would almost certainly be good for them. Out of the way of everybody with a whole console selling cycle to call your own. People won't have to choose between PS5 or Xbox because they can just get the Xbox and have a whole year to save for the PS5. Not to mention, the Switch 2 is likely coming this year in 2025, which would put them out of the way already. This rumor also alleges that Treyarch's new Call of Duty would be a launch title for the Xbox Prime, and as we know, Call of Duty, always a big seller. And this is just a personal addition out of my own brain, but I could also see 2026 and the launch of a new Xbox being around the same time we get Gears of War E-Day, which again would all make sense because you want strong launch games for any console. You want system sellers. And a brand new Call of Duty and Gears of War, I'd say that's pretty damn strong. So even though this rumor didn't have a lot to it or a lot of proof and or credibility, I still found it interesting. Because for a good long while now, it's been clear that Xbox isn't in the position they want to be. Possibly with Call of Duty and Gears, it all hits like a final big swing. Like we see Xbox going whole hog with Game Pass, slapping all their big games and Call of Duty on it, and clearly making it a goal to put Game Pass on as many devices as possible, effectively making those devices Xboxes. Right, we see that with the whole "This is an Xbox" campaign. And you know, I felt for a couple of years now that in the future, Xbox will just be Game Pass and will no longer have a console. And at that point, I can even see Game Pass being on PlayStation as well, because Xbox would no longer be a hardware threat. I've felt that these things will happen, but I've had trouble locking down a timetable. But if these rumors are to be believed, I would assume that this shift to Game Pass and xCloud only would happen around the back end of the Xbox Prime lifecycle, but only if the Xbox Prime is struggling in a similar way to how the Series consoles are. That's my prediction. There are a lot of variables in it, but it is what it is. Anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to say about this Xbox stuff. A lot of theory crafting today, but let me know what you think about any of it down in the comments, and give your own theories about Xbox's future. Also, please remember to give the video a like if you did indeed like it, and also subscribe for more stuff like this. Even if you don't though, thanks for watching, and until next time, I am WaifuBelector. I am just a normal guy. I like hentai, and I'm gonna buy an Xbox Prime if they're real. Goodbye.